Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, like you've never seen my face before, you're absolutely welcome. My name is Emi. I'm a Nigerian blogger and I live in Lagos, Nigeria. I make videos every week, so make sure you click the subscribe button so you get an update from me. Like anytime my videos drop, you are the first to get a notification and you come and watch fast. Anyways, today I want to talk about something, would I say important? Well, a lot of people have been asking me about it, asking me questions about being self-employed, about how do I do this, how do I do that? And on some days I'm just like, man, I'm just like you. I'm trying to figure it out myself. I don't have all the answers. I'm just taking it one day at a time and hoping the line fall in pleasant places for me. That's what I'm doing. So I feel like it's necessary for us to have this conversation. And today I was just feeling like I needed to talk to people. Because one of the things about being self-employed is you don't have colleagues, nobody in your office, just you minding your business, doing your work. So sometimes I miss that company of having colleagues, even though I can do without it, because sometimes there is a lot of drama that comes with those relationships. But I miss it all the same. And I just wanted to discuss with you guys. I'm sure there are other self-employed people watching me, and hopefully we can relate. You know, when you're looking for someone where you can cry together, laugh together, talk about what you're going through, and then just feel better at the end of the day. So I think that's kind of why I'm making this video. And I want to talk about would I say the truth about being self-employed? I think that's what I want to talk about. But I think I should start from how I became self-employed so that it will give context to this discussion. Abi, let me start from the beginning where I became an entrepreneur. So I've been an entrepreneur for over 2 years now, and I use the age of my child to measure if my son is over 2 years old. And I became self-employed when I almost had him, when I was like 8 months pregnant, I think between 8 to 9 months pregnant. I was working somewhere and it wasn't a fulfilling job. Like, I didn't have a designation. It wasn't a career. Do you understand? You know, when you're just doing a job at a company, that's what I was doing. And I didn't feel fulfilled there, but I kept on going because I was like, if I leave it, meaning I don't have a job. I don't know. I grew up thinking about, okay, you go to school, and you graduate, you apply for jobs and you go to the office 9 to 5 every day, and that was what I was used to. But when I was there, I was like, I don't know, is this going to be my life? Like, is this going to be me? They tell me when to have go on breaks, like you can't take a holiday without permission, and all that is well and good. Yes, the structure is good, but I was not happy with it. But in as much as I was not happy, I did not leave. I was there. I was like, now yeah, good day forever and ever. But when I was about 8 months pregnant, the company was going through restructuring and they were firing people left, right, center. Every day in the office was like people whispering, who did they fire today? They fired like 10 people. And then some people are there doing like, hey God, I'm not going to be next. Oh. And even though I was saying all of that, I was worried because, of course, I'm 8 months pregnant. Almost time for me to have my baby. I'm trying to save. I'm trying to get my maternity leave, get that money, and just trying to provide for my child and for my family and their bills to pay. Do you understand? So I don't want to be losing my job at that time. And I was like, no, they're not going to fire me. Like, I'm almost at my maternity leave time. So they're just going to maybe allow me go on my maternity leave, and maybe when I come back we'll talk about my position, whatever. But I didn't think they were going to fire me. But something in my spirit was like, prepare, and I prepared. I made sure arranged all my documents, all my stuff on the computers. I made sure I set everything in order. And then one day my boss calls me into his office, like I just resumed in the morning, and he was like, I think what he said to me empowered me, even though I was like, really? At that time, I was like, really? He was like, I've known you for a while. You work hard, you've been doing your best, and all of that. And it's so sad that at this moment we have to let you go. You've been saying what's been happening. I have no choice in this matter. Came from the Oga at the Tubbs, that kind of thing. But I am so confident in you that you're going to scale through, and from here, you're going to have an amazing career. So it's not like your life is tied to this company. Like, I trust you, I have confidence in you, that kind of thing. So when he said it, I was like, yeah, my boss has confidence that I'm not going to fail. Do you understand? So I left his office. I felt bad. Called my husband immediately. I'm like, can you believe what just happened? My husband was like, no problem, just go home and relax. Me, I was cuckoo tired, 8 months pregnant woman. If you see my belly, it was huge. I was always tired. So I was like, I beg, I can't even deal with this. Let me be going home. So I felt a bit of relief, and I felt a bit upset because you don't want to ever think that somebody does not need your service. So I felt bad that they didn't need my service anymore. But then I felt very relieved because before then I was praying to God. I was like, God, whatever you want me to do, show me. If it's that you want me to leave this office, I'm not going to resign by myself. Like, I'm not going to wake up one morning and be like, I resign, unless somebody pushes me. And I think that was the push I needed. I resigned that morning and I dropped my resignation letter with my boss. Like in 10 minutes, I was gone, man. I packed my load and I left that office and I never looked back. And I think that was the best decision I've ever made in my life in a long time. Like, I do not regret it one bit. So for some people, they go into self-employment, like they make the decision, they save for years, and then they go into self-employment. But for some people, like, they just wake up one morning and they are accidentally self-employed, or without a job or whatever. But for me, I think the difference was while I was at that job, I was doing about 3 different jobs. So because of my skills, my writing skills, I think a few months before then, was it 5 months before then, I got an offer from Cosmopolitan, like Cosmopolitan America, and they wanted to open, they wanted a little sub division in Nigeria, and they were looking for someone, and the president called me, and I was so shocked because I did not expect it. And she was like, we've been reading your blog over the years and we have this opportunity. We're hoping you're going to take it. And I'm like, you have been following my blog over the years, like my small Nigerian blog. And she gave me an offer that I could not resist. I couldn't even believe it. So when I got that offer, I was the editor for the magazine in Nigeria, but we didn't have like a physical magazine. It was an online magazine, and I was the editor, and I had to employ people. So I was at that my 9 to 5 job doing this Cosmo job. And the Cosmo job paid me at least 3 or 4 times what I was getting at my 9 to 5. But because of my, would I say my mindset, I was like, at least the work you can see every day is better than the one that is online that you cannot see, even though I was getting paid. So it was a mindset that was tying me down there. And then I had my blog, of course, which I was still running, and I had my YouTube channel. If you've been with me for a long time, you know I had my YouTube channel then, and I was uploading videos, I was writing articles. In a day, I used to write about 7 to 10 articles. That was what I was meant to deliver daily, and I was pregnant, and I had the 9 to 5. So trust me, when they said, Madam, we don't need your services any longer, I was like, thank you very much. So I went home and I relaxed. That's how I became self-employed. Okay, now let's talk about being self-employed. After I had my baby, I was like, am I going to apply for another job, or should I keep doing this Cosmo job? I was still doing Cosmo. I was doing Cosmo for like, I think 2 years, and it was just perfect. I think God just sent that job right on time. Like, it sent it right before I resigned, and it helped me through while I was doing my maternity leave up till when my baby was about 1.5 before we closed down. And it was awesome. I was just grateful to God, like, God, thank you. This came at the time of my need. So I wasn't even feeling bad that I didn't have a job. But the thing I did is, that time I was doing Cosmo, I made sure I was working on my blog, because I'm like, the only reason Cosmo came to me is because they saw what I was doing. I was building my stuff. So I'm not going to stop building my stuff because I'm working for somebody else now. Because if I don't have my stuff, there's nothing to fall back on. So I used that period of working for Cosmo to also build my blog. So I wasn't really making a lot of money, but I was building my brand. And I think that's one of the hard parts about being self-employed. There's the time where you're not making money and you're just doing it just to do it, so that it don't look as if you don't have work to do. So that was it for me at that time. And when Cosmo ended, my blog had picked up, my YouTube channel had picked up. So it was just like a smooth transition from the job I had before to Cosmo, to my blog, and now to my YouTube channel. So by the time Cosmo left, my blog picked up, YouTube picked up, and good things were happening. And I was just so grateful to God. And sometimes people are always like, Nigerians can never, I've seen this comment somewhere, that Nigerians tell them to tell you the secret of their success, and they will tell you it is God. They don't have any facts and figures. It's just that sometimes when you think about your situation, when I think about my own condition, I'm always like, it's nothing but God, because I don't think, like, sometimes I'm like, what am I doing that's extraordinary? It's just the grace of God, and it's just favor, because if not for that, I don't know what I'll be doing with my life right now if God did not direct my path. So I'm self-employed, and I've been self-employed for like 2.5 years. And I'm like, on some days, on a lot of days, I am so grateful. On some days, I'm just dancing, happy. When it's Monday and people are ranting on Twitter, I'm like, oh gosh, I love my job. I love what I do. But when I'm working, I'm always like, see, people that have 9 to 5, they've gone to their house, they are relaxing. But me, I'm working. But it's true. For when you have a job, like when you go to someone else's job, you have like a 9 to 5. But when you're self-employed, man, it's 24/7. I don't have times where I don't have designated times to work. I don't have, oh, you wake up in the morning, work from 9 to 10, take up. No, I'm working all the time. And my work includes making videos, editing videos, writing articles. Now I write articles for newspapers, for magazines. I'm a freelancer. I create recipes for companies. I take pictures for companies, like things that I never ever thought I could be doing and get paid for is what I do. And it is awesome. It's a lot of hard work, you guys. I know you know it's a lot of hard work to get a perfect picture, to have your recipe looking good and then tasting good is a lot of work. So I put in a lot of effort, and I'm just so happy as to where I am right now, that it's actually paying. Talk about the fun things about not having a 9 to 5. Number one, I don't have to dress up to go to work every day. When I used to have my 9 to 5, it used to stress me out. I will wear the same skirt every day for 1 week. I was so tired of trying to figure out what to wear, how to do my makeup every day, how to comb my hair. But when you're self-employed, well, the kind of self-employment I'm doing, because there's some self-employment that you have to go somewhere every day. But for me, I work from home, so sometimes I don't even have to bath to do my job. But if I have to film and all that, I have to, of course, take my bath, look good, take 5 hours to do makeup, comb hair, make sure I'm looking presentable to you guys and all that. But I just love the fact that I don't have to dress up and stress myself up every day. You guys know the traffic in Lagos. When I was doing my 9 to 5, I used to spend at least 5 hours a day in traffic, going and coming. I was living on the mainland and I was working on the island, and that third mainland bridge was my best friend. We used to go every day. So I don't miss that at all. I don't miss the transit. I don't miss dressing up. And like I said, I miss having colleagues, but I really, 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 really don't miss it that much. Another advantage of being self-employed is that there's no limit. You know, when you work for someone, maybe your salary is like 150K per month. That's it. Like, you have your allowances, but that's it. At the end of the month, you know that amount is coming to you. But being self-employed, you can have 1 million naira per day. Somebody can just call you and be like, "We want to give you this contract or something, sha," and you just have $100 billion in one day. I'm just saying. That has not happened to me yet, but I'm confident it can happen. So you can just make so much money. All the money you will make in a year working your 9 to 5, you can make everything in one day. And I think that's also the disadvantage, because when you're working for someone else, your salary is guaranteed. Do you understand? But when you're self-employed, this month you might make 300,000. Next month, zero. The other month, 5,000. The other one, 20,000. And then the next one might be big. So you have to learn how to save. You have to learn so many things that nobody teaches you. Like for me, I don't have a template. I'm always like, when I'm so confused, I don't know who to ask, I don't know what to do. I'm always trying to figure things out by myself, because I can't be like, oh, I need somebody that's like a blogger in Nigeria that's going to teach me how to charge, how to write this, how to do my media kit, how to arrange my blog. I don't have that template. So I have to figure it out by myself, and I make a lot of mistakes. So that's part of it. When you're self-employed, you make mistakes because there's nobody to really teach you, depending on the career you're in. But for me, there was really nobody to teach me, and I just do my research all the time, and I make my mistakes. And I also, an advantage is you would now begin to get confidence. You know, all those things that you didn't know you could do. You know, being self-employed, you are the PA, you are the manager, you are the marketing officer, you are the CEO, you are the secretary, you are the everything in your business. You are everything. Right now, I kind of do everything by myself, so I don't have staff. So I do everything by myself. So when you start doing everything by yourself, you begin to gain confidence in the skills that you have. Right now, I am more confident than when I was working somewhere else, because I'm like, I can actually use my skill to put food on my table. I can be sufficient. Do you understand? Self-sufficiency. It makes me very proud of all the things I've achieved, and everything is by the grace of God. One more thing, you can look at it as an advantage or a disadvantage, but for me it's an advantage. You become accountable. Like when you're working for someone, you can be like, yeah, if I do it anyhow, what's come towards, my boss will shout at me, or will correct it, or will try to fix it, and they'll still pay me my money at the end of the day or the month. But when you're self-employed, you are accountable for every single thing. Any mistake you make is going to cost you, and you have to bear it by yourself. So yeah, become more accountable. And I think it's actually good because it helps me generally, not just in my career but in my life. Love what you do. Being self-employed is going to be the most fulfilling thing you ever do with your life. I think about I spend time thinking about what would I be doing if I wasn't self-employed. Like, this is the life, this is the best scenario, this is the best thing that can happen to me, being self-employed. So, and I think it's just a matter of keep doing what you do. Because I have a lot of people send me emails. This is why I'm like, I don't have the answers for you people, but let me tell you what I've been doing. A lot of people send me messages asking, oh, I have a job, blah blah blah, but I want to leave, should I leave now? And one thing I will tell you is that before you leave, keep building. Make sure you build that thing you're going to fall back on. I know there are so many people that they feel like they have the faith to carry them, like just resign and don't worry, things will work out. I'm a very scared person. I get afraid, and I don't think I take a lot of risks. So I would not have been that person to be like, yeah, I'm resigning and I'm going to start my blog and I'm going to know. But I needed something to push me, and then I'll be like, yeah, I think I got this. I got this. So when people ask me that question, I always say, make sure that whatever you want to fall back on, you're already building it. Don't start building when you've left. Start building while you're still at your job, and don't let it affect the job that you do. Still build on the side, which is why I believe so much in side hustles. Like, if you don't have a side hustle, I don't know, I can't, even as being a blogger, I have a side hustle. I still have another side hustle that I'm doing, just in case my blog does not work one day. I still have something to fall back on. Do you understand? So yeah, always have a side hustle. I wrote about side hustles a long time ago, the importance of a side hustle. I have a blog, so make sure you check that out. I'll put that link below. And I just think it's really important to always have something that you can fall back on. I feel very fulfilled, and I just really wanted to make this video because a lot of people were asking me about it, and I want us to have the conversation in the comment section, because sometimes when I get all those emails, like so many emails, I cannot respond to all of them. But I feel like if we have the conversation here, like in the comment section, you see other people that can respond to you, and I will respond, and we can have this back and forth, and someone can give you inputs that I don't have answers to in the first place. So, which is why I brought this conversation outside, because I know a lot of people that are my age mates are thinking about self-employment, and it's something I used to think about, but I never thought I could do, because when I was a student, even while I was growing up, before I became like in university, I used to think, what kind of job will I do that will allow me stay at home with my child but still have a fulfilling career? And finally, this is it. Like, I can stay at home with my child, I can choose to do anything, I can choose to travel for 10 weeks and come back, and even the trip is still my job. So you have to think about those things before. As a woman, I find that as a woman, I had to think about those things before I got married and I started working towards them. And I always tell ladies, my fellow ladies, like, you have to think about this part of your life because it's inevitable. If you are going to get married, if you are going to have children, you also have to think about the choices that you have. Am I going to be self-employed? Will I be doing 9 to 5? How will I cope? And try and make the best decision for yourself. I think I'm getting into another video. If people want me to do, okay, I actually have the plan of doing a video on things you need to think about before you get married. If you want me to do that video, then let me know in the comment section. But for today, we're talking about self-employment and the advantages and disadvantages. And I just want to encourage somebody out there because I know it is not easy. On some days, I'm just crying and stressed out, and I'm like, I need help, but nobody can help me, and I just have to go through it. So sometimes you just have to go through what you're going through, but there's always that good reward at the end. And if you're doing something you actually love, something you're passionate about, it is going to be very fulfilling, and there's nothing better than that feeling in this world. Oh, there's food. Like, there's a feeling of eating good food. That's actually really good I'm talking about. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe. I want to see your comments. Are you self-employed? Are you thinking about it? What do you do for a living? As a matter of fact, come and talk about your business. Tell us what you do in the comment section. Hype your business. Let us patronize you. Let's help each other. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.